So in this part, we're going to test user profiles used to access network devices via the TACACS server. So the first thing we need to do is to check the predefined profiles within the configuration file. So the first thing we need to do is check if the TACACS server is running. And as you can see, it's running on port 49. And the specific configuration file is tacacs.config. So for example, some of the defined users are JTAC2, and so the first thing we're going to attempt to log in as the user JTAC1. So we'll just exit again, then it's going to prompt us to log in. So currently JTAC is a non-existent user within the current network device. Since we connected it to the TACACS server, it's going to be checking for a matching username and password so that it logs in as the net admin users. Remember in the previous part, we did create some specific users. So these are the users which we pre-configured classes. So we had the read-only admin and the TS. And this one has specific classes, which is the user, super user, which is the root user, the operator, and the read-only. So the TACACS server just maps users to these profiles or classes. So the JTAC1 is mapped to the net admin users, and the clear text password is lab123. So when we attempt to log in as JTAC1, we should be able to log in. And as you can see, we are able to log in as the JTAC1 user. So in order for us to verify that it's able to communicate with the cloud server, we're going to stop the TACACS server and then reattempt to log in to see if we are able to access the account using the JTAC1 user. So let me just exit. Then I'm going to kill the service. So currently it's not running. So you can just check it's not running. Then I'm going to attempt to log in as the JTAC1 user. And as you can see, the login is incorrect. But once we set up the server again, we should be able to log in as that user. Let me just repeat it so that we're sure. Login incorrect. So let me just restart the server. Then we check that the service is running. And just give it some time so that it's able to reestablish the connection with the TACACS server. So now we can reattempt again to log in as the JTAC1 user. Then as you can see, we are being prompted and we should be able to log in. And we do have access. So the other thing we can try to do is just create a new user. So this user, you can just give it like test user. Then give it a clear text password, or let's say just user. So when we add a user, we do need to restart the service once more so that it's able to load the currently added user. So for this, you just have to restart the service. Then, just for reference, we can exit out of this, then log in as the test user, the password user. And as you can see, we're able to log in as that user. So the second part, we're going to check on the limits that have been added to this account, since it involves creating members. It's mapped to the net admin user profile. So we're going to map it to a specific user profile where we're able to execute some specific commands. So for this one, we're going to map it to the TS user, which is the local account which we created on the Junos OS system. As you can see here, we did create some accounts, then we mapped them here. So for this one, we're going to look for a user who has been added to the net TS user profile. So we're going to scroll up, and we can just update our current user, which is the test user, that is. Then we're going to map it to the net operator. What you can just try doing is just logging in as the JTAC user, JTAC2. But we can just update it here so that our test user is going to be logged in as the net operator. Technically, we're supposed to be logging in as the TS user. So we need to map it to the TS user profile. So profile is net TS user profile. So just this. So that is the group, it's net TS. Also, as you can see here, the JTAC3 is within that specific group. So since both of these are mapping to this, we're going to test if they're able to perform the ping operation and trace route. So by default, they should be able to do so. So the test user, we just did update so that it's a member of this profile. So we'll have first of all to save and restart the service. Then we do need to log out, then log back in. Test user. Then just for reference, let's just load up the config file once more. So the password is user. Password is user. And we should be able to perform a ping operation. So the next we're going to revoke the ping command so that this user is not able to execute that command. It's like we're just limiting them. So we'll search for ping. Then the ping is just going to add it to, we'll comment out this so that they're only just allowed to perform the trace route command. So before we save that, then restart the service, you should try performing the trace route and google.com, then inet. As you can see, trace route is working. So let's now save and apply the new changes. Then restart the service. log in as the same user once more. So you have to first of all log out, then log back in for it to apply. So we'll log in as test user, and the password is user. Then if we do try to perform the ping, we should be denied. As you can see, it's a non command. If I type in the space, that command is no longer available. But if I try out traceroute, then hit the tab key, I should be able to perform a ping operation. A traceroute operation. So again, let's just bring back the allow the ping, then comment out this one, save. We do need to restart the server. Reference. Then we do need to log out. If I try pinging right now, it's not going to work. You have to log out, then log back in. Test user, then we should be able to perform the ping. It's available. So technically, you can just create any account remotely. Then you're going to provide it to a specific group membership where you're able to manage the permissions that this specific user should be able to perform.